Good morning, sacred friends. I guess it's not morning, it's afternoon here. So happy for you to join us today. We are gathering, Essential Soul Wisdom is gathering today for the Capricorn full moon. And celebrating Capricorn full moon and also honoring the Cancer sun season, which is almost coming to an end. We have a few things we're going to be doing today, and just come along and join us. Anyway, so ladies, I guess we'll start with how is everybody doing in this moon phase? I know we're not quite in the Capricorn full moon. It's still, I believe, what, Sagittarius right now? The moon is in, waxing gibbous Sagittarius, close to that full moon coming on the 21st. So you have plenty of time after we do our ritual to prepare it and get it ready for yourself. Anyway, and how is everyone doing today, ladies? Lots of stuff. Yeah, there's, I mean, in our world, there's a lot of wow, upheaval, chaos. Really, wow.
It's rocky and frustration.
Yeah.
Yes.
On a collective side and my personal experience right now.
Okay.
That's
so, here I was wondering if, nope, that's not better. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk politics, but there's a lot of political upheaval in the United States right now. People are afraid, honestly. There's I can feel the energy of fear, and just really wanting to stay centrally aligned myself, align into that earth, and walk into a heart space. But I'm sure Karen can feel some of that over here, huh?
Yes, and I've not been sleeping well for a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that's playing a lot into it. And I'm just glad I'm retired and don't have to get up and go function in high gear at some job. So I can just sort of ease through my days. And this morning, I go out every morning and feed the critters and the birds and whatnot. And it was just so lovely. I just sat out on my swing in the backyard and listening to the birds. And there's a mama song sparrow and a fledgling that I've been seeing a lot at the feeders. And the fledgling is just very awkward and flopping around from branch to branch with mama, hovering close. And it's just been really fun to watch them. And it's those little moments that kind of help ease the outside angst.
I know I had five baby raccoons in my feeder in the morning. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. They were so adorable. Just 5 of them. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, and we don't see them during the day very often. So they come all the way across from the field into, there's like a woods over there, into they must come at night, every night, because all the food's gone every night. So
yeah.
They were so cute. Very
wait till they are grown up, then they're the real anarchists.
Now say that again. Wait, I didn't hear Maren say that again.
When raccoons are grown up, they're the real anarchists.
Oh, but they
are so smart. I love them.
I love raccoons. I think they're amazing. So yes.
I do too. We feed ours too. We have 2 mamas. One has 4 and one has 1. And I have a little tub of water for them, and they come and play in that and make a big mess. And
see, I do not put water out, and I think I need to.
I do, and they'll dirty them. They have to stand in them. I don't know why, but they dirty them. So every day I have to rinse them out and refresh the water because they like to play. And have to play in all the bowls of water, not just one.
Oh. And Alexandra, how are you doing today?
Good. Pacing myself and just trying not to overdo things at the moment. Just
That's
Taking it easy. Taking it easy.
that's good. So ladies, I'm gonna do a short little meditation, kind of wanting to help you connect with both the grounding energy of Earth and the sun above, just so that we can focus on that ground planning that we're gonna do with those stones. So that's kind of just allowing us to step into that meditative, intuitive space. And if everybody's ready, I'll go ahead. Just a short one, not too long. And everybody hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Ooh, all right. So let's all close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let's feel your body relax as you exhale. Let's breathe in and exhale slowly, releasing all that no longer serves you, all that is not yours. Let's breathe in all the way down to our belly and just exhale. Let's adjust your body and let's just get comfortable. Now place your awareness in the space between your heart and spine. Really lean into that space and let your heart space grow. I want you to turn your face towards the sun. Feel its gentle warmth on your skin. Sense the nurturing energy of the sun in Cancer as it envelopes you in a protective embrace. Feel it filling you with love and compassion. Now place your awareness on the space in front of the base of the spine, your root chakra. Feel that space growing and vibrating with energy. Imagine roots growing from the base of your spine and extending deep into the earth. Those roots are anchoring you in stability and strength. Sense the gentle supportive energy of the earth as it rises up through your roots and grounds you in the present moment. Now, bring to mind a goal or a project you're working on, or a future heart's desire. Envision it clearly in your mind's eye. Repeat a simple affirmation to yourself, such as, I am focused and aligned with my purpose. Let's picture a path stretching out before you. lined with the stones representing your steps. As you walk this path in your mind, feel a sense of determination and clarity infusing your being. Pay attention to any words, feelings, intuitive insights that come forward as you walk the path. As we return, take a final deep breath. Express gratitude for the sun above and the earth below as they support you on your journey ahead. Let's come back into our body. Feeling refreshed, grounded, and ready to embark with renewed purpose. Breathe a couple breaths and slowly open your eyes when you're ready. If you have anything that came to you during this, just go ahead and write it down. I see you're busy writing. Otherwise, would you like to share? Did anything come to anybody? I don't know. Was that helpful to you? I don't know if it was or not. Yes? Okay, good. Good. So I'm going to post that little meditation along with the steps, hoping that it will support anyone who wants to use it. So let's then just go into this ritual. And so basically what it wants us to do, what we're here to do, we're going to lean into the whispers of that meditation, of the visions you wish to call into form. And then with Capricorn's guiding hand, it's you can begin drawing a path. And honestly, this path can be, you can take it outside if you so want. You can draw on a piece of paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and draw too.
I'm actually drawing around my stones.
Oh, well, how fun. That's
I'll probably see it. No, I'm
ah
using a pencil. So
okay, wonderful. So, you know, I always like these long winding paths that take me to I don't know where, but I have long winding paths. So after we so let's kind of, you know, put our stones in our hands. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. I'm going to use these small little stones. They'll work better for me.
all of them.
If you can put it, or you can do one at a time, whichever. There comes May Ruth.
No, she doesn't know anything about this.
Probably not. So she can just follow along, and I'll post all that and give it to her. So you can do it different ways. You can pick out. Hello, May Ruth. How are you? We just finished a little meditation, kind of connecting us in on steps that we would take. Steps. We're doing step planning with sacred stones. So we have a little ritual that we're going to do. We've discovered, and I will post all of this later. I can send it all to you also, May Ruth, since but what we're going to do is we've discovered maybe our heart's desire, any project that we're trying to complete or we're in the midst of or just beginning. So we have chosen stones. These are stones that we are going to bury. So you can go out anywhere in the world to choose stones. You can even have crystals if you don't mind burying them and releasing them. I think that's what Alexandra is going to do. And we have drawn a path. We've drawn a path, or I've made a path, you know, we collaged a path, painted a path, gone outside and created a path. And now we can either see, I have small little stones, so I can put them all in my hand, or you can blow your, so basically, we're closing our eyes, taking a few deep breaths, centering ourselves, reflect on our goal or project, whatever you have in mind, and visualize the steps that you need to take, that you have. And the meditation that we did, hopefully, you know, brought some insights in. So, and then what I ask you to do is always, when you're activating something, it's always blowing your breath. So, you know, put it to your heart space and then blow 3 times. Big breaths. And that is just activating these stones. You can, of course, if you already have your stones picked out, you know which one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however you want to do, you can take one stone at a time and activate that one. So this one, what we're doing is we're starting out just activating, blowing in all the stones. Then when we're laying out the stones, you can even go outside, do it outside if you so choose. That's more of an active earth mandala, an active earth altar. And what you would do is, as you place each stone on each step, I would say out loud what it is that you want. My first step is to gather information, you know, with whatever it is that you have. So I would definitely write out your steps in a journal. Write out all of your steps if you have them in a journal. And then when you're actually placing stones on that path, I would absolutely blow again into that one, activating that one one intention into this stone and place it while speaking it aloud. I would speak your intention aloud 3 times for that stone. So do that for each step. Blow into it, say the intention aloud, place it on the path. Blow into it, say the intention aloud, place it on the path. And infuse that energy into the stone for each step. Absolutely. That's how I would do it. You can always adjust according to what feels right for you, but it's definitely important to, what is your intention for the overall goal? So you need to do some reflection on this. You're going to need to do some writing, some reflection. What is it that I want to achieve? So you're going to need to know your overall overarching goal, your overarching intention. Each step will have their own intention. So you can make it as long as you want, or, I only have 3 steps and I'm done. Thank God. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's not usually my life. So just laying on those stones will support the ability to manifest. When you do all this, that's always supporting the ability to manifest in this world. The actions taken support manifesting. So we've laid the stones, we've blown into them, we've activated the intention. Now we start working on each step. What's your first step? Start taking the action, then you do the action that is involved in. And let's say if you're just gathering information, whatever it is you need to do, even if it's buying supplies, materials, whatever you need to do, what are the steps? And taking action towards each step. So do the first one first, and focus your energy and attention on that step. Don't think about the others. Give it your full dedication. And as you complete that one step, when it's complete and done, bury your stone. Pick up the corresponding stone, carry it to a designated spot where you want to bury it. So now when you bury a stone, do it with reverence, with gratitude. Dig a small hole in the earth for each stone you've completed. And as you place the stone in the hole, say a few words of acknowledgement for your progress and the lessons learned. Cover the stone with soil, pat it down gently, take a moment to appreciate the journey. It's always important to appreciate it. I mean, honestly, you can put all these stones together in one hole later. You can continue to, if you don't want to have a lot of little holes in your yard, you can always dig up the same spot. Now, after burying the stone, there's a little bit of reflection and renewal. Take a moment to journal your thoughts, feelings about completing this step. So, I mean, this is not really a short process. So it's kind of involved, but it really, really supports connecting to the steps, really supports connecting to how far you have moved forward on your path. Some people just kind of blow off, oh, I did this and this, and don't think anything of it. But gosh, we should acknowledge all those little pieces and all those little things that we do, because maybe it will it will support us in moving forward. I know, gosh, I get stuck so much on one, I forget all that I have done. So really, it's really, as you repeat the ritual and as you complete each step and you bury each stone, it really deepens your connection to your goals and to the earth. And Capricorn is Father Earth. So it really, through this practice, you honor your progress, you stay grounded in the present moment, and you really cultivate a sense of sacredness in your journey. And I think, boy, we all need that, don't we? that bit of sacredness. So, well, that is the stone ritual. So for step, does anybody have any questions on it? Do you understand it? I mean, I will post step by step online. I know it seems a little involved, but it might not be so involved because the first steps might be pretty easy. You know, I mean, first steps were just for us to gather stones. On this, to gather some stones. If we were just saying, okay, just for me to do this ritual in itself, first steps were to gather stones, paper, pen, or however. So we'd have some of those first steps done. Then we have to sit down and maybe get a little bit more connected with our feelings, with what we really want to achieve. Have to do some deep dives maybe into us, into ourselves. So that was Capricorn Earth guiding my little ritual for today. So, okay. Anyway, I am.
I'm thinking.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking about, because there's no actual steps that I can write down. It's just every day. Just there is a project happening at the moment, but there's no and I'm writing down more things like focus, releasing, showing up, things like that. So there's no specific, but there's like qualities to what I can bring to the day.
Okay.
Is that
so? I'm encouraging you to shift it into any form that works for you. So I don't make this rigid or limited in what you're trying to do. So
because there are no steps.
Yeah. Or maybe for one day, pick one quality to work on, or
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Each stone has a quality, and that's what I want to bring to the table.
Okay. And when you feel that you've accomplished that, even if it's not for a day, maybe you expand it into a longer time period. So it's not just a day, that you have actually, that you own that quality, that you can shift through different situations experiencing that quality. Especially focus when in times of stress, can I still remain focused? If you want to possibly bring in, however you want to do it, I wouldn't limit you at all. So, okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, ladies. So that's our little homework. And maybe the Capricorn moon, full moon again, does not come around until July of next year. I know we've had 2 in a row. We've had 2 Capricorn moon, we had last full moon was the Capricorn full moon, and now this full moon is Capricorn full moon. But maybe see how you feel in that year, see what's going on from this year, what you had, and to the following full moon in Capricorn. See if that goal you had wanted to achieve, have you achieved it? Has it no longer applicable? You don't want it anymore, or it doesn't even matter? Just see where your intentions lie next year. I think it's in July of next year also, Capricorn full moon. I think I looked it up, but I don't remember the dates. Anyway, that was my little ritual that I wanted to share with you today. So,
thank you.
And anyone, how are we? Ruth, how are you doing under this at this time, under this moon phase and sun phase? How are you doing?
This is always a good, excuse me. I find that Capricorn moons are very good for my water, and it's very um, conducive to structuring and getting some ideas in motion. I kind of gather my energies, and it grounds me. So I find the earth times particularly, but Capricorn in particular, I like it. It works for me.
Me as well. I think
Mhm.
I get a lot done during this time. I have gotten a lot done.
Mhm.
But right now it's in Sagittarius, so it's fire. But
Well, only for another maybe few hours. I
okay.
can't. Yeah, I mean it's the moon moves fast,
Yeah.
so it's not going to be. It gives a jolt of energy, and then taking that energy and putting it into some kind of form. So
Okay.
that's what I find.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So that's what I got up, and that's what I was doing this morning. Um, I got this PDF on the moon that I'm talking about the moon, and I finally am finishing. Somebody was editing it for me, and then I had to go back and edit the edits. So I'm finally getting there.
Ah, wonderful.
Uh,
That is wonderful. Oh, yeah. I was hoping to get this website finished. Hopefully, that is my project that I've been working on. So hoping. I'm waiting for somebody else now, patiently waiting for somebody else. So I've done my part. Yeah, but and ladies, what else do you feel about this time? I know what this full moon takes place on that Cancer Capricorn axis, and Cancer's mother water. What isn't it? I consider the mother who leads with her feelings. That's what I consider Cancer to be. And Capricorn is the stern father figure, more so do it right, penny saving father of the zodiac. Maybe that's wrong, but I kind of think of it that way.
well, no, it's not wrong, but you know what? I actually because Capricorn is also feminine energy,
Okay.
and it's like uh particularly when we talk about burying things in the earth, and this is a full moon, we're talking that the mothering principle, the archetype, is actually across the axis of both Cancer and Capricorn. Because what I find for Capricorn is that it's the sign that really, they both are family oriented in an
Yes.
interesting way. And so I think that the father part of it is the structuring, but the
Right.
content is definitely the feminine energy. And I think it's embodying both. And so um, because when we talk about Capricorn and we're talking about the planet Saturn, I kind of see that as the father, the masculine. I don't even mean to say father. I want to say the masculine
Masculine.
energy. Yeah, I actually I need both. I think it's the feminine and the masculine coming together when we have the axis of this Cancer and the
Absolutely.
Capricorn. Yeah, and so that takes away just the father or the mother.
Right.
It's
Okay.
it's 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 across the board because everybody has that masculine
And
and has that and the receptivity because the Cancer is the receptivity, but there's an interesting thing about both of them. They both are initiators. Both signs are initiators. They move energy, and we never think about Cancer in that way,
oh,
but
I
it's
do.
it's
Water
a it's a
moves.
mover. It's a cardinal sign, and it initiates stuff too.
Yeah.
And so we don't think it's interesting. We don't think about the Cancer as being as much of an initiator, But down underneath, what is water? Water can be very deceptive in the sense that it can move things, and we wonder how can we get from one place to the other.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't even know how we got there, but that water can move us.
Yeah, I was gonna say water is so powerful. I mean, it can cut stone. It's just, wear down stone. Yeah, it's powerful, I think.
Right. And so I think they very much fit together. We need the Capricorn and we need the Cancer.
I think that the Capricorn is like the container,
yes.
the ancestral container.
That's right. I very much agree with you. Absolutely.
Because it's not just the father energy. There's the grandmother. There's the grandfather.
That's right.
There's all that is behind us, standing behind us. It's the container of our family.
And so both of them are like the lineage, and so yeah. I wholeheartedly, that's a great container, right? Because you got to have something to contain. Okay, you get the Cancer coming in with
then you have the the movement of and the flow of Cancer in between and within that container happening.
And so they both are moving energy. That's why I'm saying they're both cardinal, and we have to remember that.
I'm writing this down so I make sure and put it into the group properly.
Yeah, I see that. I see that container as a structure in the area we can actually move within our family system, and then maybe at one point look beyond.
And then the other part for Capricorn is that container is built for longevity. See, because it's built for legacy. I mean, both Cancer, actually both Cancer and Capricorn, because Cancer is always looking in terms of what has happened and it builds on the past. But I think they both may have that connection with legacy.
Okay.
So all that, I'm glad you said that, Alexandra, because, it's expanding, because usually we want to we only say, okay, here's the mothering principle and here's the fathering principle, but that's too limited in terms of.
Yeah, and I don't see Capricorn or Saturn in any way limited. I mean, the Saturn energy in itself, I see, well, we all know, as the gatekeeper to move beyond something. Once we have embodied our container and we're ready to move past.
Right.
And the gates
Karen,
will open.
Say that again, please.
The gates will open and Saturn will let you pass. So he's the gatekeeper. He's the gatekeeper. Because
if you've gone through the steps, and I'm really glad, that's beautiful, Karen, in terms of the stones, because in an interesting way, that really is Saturn said, have you done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? And then I will now let you pass because you have achieved whatever it is.
Okay, great stuff. You guys thank you. Very good stuff.
I love Saturn, and particularly Saturn is in Pisces too right now, so I am really working on embodying that energy, because of course I won't see it once it leaves in 2025. It won't be back for another 18 or plus years in that sign. So I'm, it's like, let me use this while it's sitting here.
Yeah, Saturn's in my, geez, moon, sun, ascending in my sign, that's for sure.
And one other thing that I really am appreciating about this particular time period is that whole idea of the 29th degree. I mean, in my own chart, I have Aquarius at the 29th degree. So wherever you find that 29th degree, that is the cutting edge. It's like saying, take a look, because, and in fact, I was thinking earlier today that with the moon being in Capricorn, and then Pluto is going to make one last pass through Capricorn, and it's going to be at the 29th degree, and everything that's taking place, because Pluto is about everything that has been buried is coming to the surface. And then here's Capricorn, and it's like, are you willing to unearth all the stuff that is no longer viable? And so I think this moon is signaling it has something to do with this Pluto going back into Capricorn. This moon is very important. And as Alexander just said, we got to examine our containers, which means our collective governments, our collective everything. Because if it's not working, Saturn and Neptune are going to do their thing if we don't really work it out ourselves. I was talking to somebody else, and we were talking about how the planets, they don't compel anything, but what they do is they give us the energetic framework. And it's like, if we don't do it ourselves, circumstances, environments will come along. And in particular, if we don't pay attention, Neptune will dissolve things in some very mysterious kinds of ways.
So what about if some of us pay attention and many don't? So you know what I'm talking about.
Well, on a personal level, you can't do somebody else's work.
I know you can't.
We can do our own work, and we will, as she says, we will earn our way, and we pass through the gate. But you can't take somebody else through the gate if they haven't been doing what they need to do. We cannot take them through the gate.
So collectively, we just have to suffer, I guess. I mean,
No,
politically,
I don't believe that, actually.
Me either. No.
I actually believe that if you stay true to your own path and you show up for yourself and let the noise be noise, you're doing your work and you have that rite of passage.
That's right.
At the end of it. And
Absolutely.
what the collective does is the collective is always going to be doing something, and it's going to be something different than what you anticipate or would like it to do. But as long as you stay in your lane, in your path, and show up for yourself.
I'm really not bothered by a lot because I don't even pay attention. I don't even know what's going on out there, but I feel like I need to pay attention somewhat right now.
Sure, pay attention, but absolutely. But you don't have to. I'm glad that the word suffering. No, I told wholeheartedly, no, that is not. I mean, if you choose, because a lot of people need to be mindful of their language, but you don't have to choose that. That is a choice too.
Right.
That is a choice also.
And paying attention is always good. Paying attention to yourself, how you are reacting, how you're feeling, how this is what this is doing, what with your inside, with your feelings. Because that's something.
I mean,
you to work
this is definitely triggering some things for me. There's some triggers there that I thought, boy, I'm telling you, honestly, I've done 14 years of therapy, not only talk therapy, but all kinds of therapy, and thought I had worked, and there's always layers that you need to work through. But this is definitely triggering. What is going on politically in the United States is triggering me in certain aspects and ways, just of how it really trying to oppress women's voices and women in general. It's really triggering that again. Obviously there's some more healing to do on my part so that I can remain calm in that face of that. Yeah, calm. So
You know what, Karen? We need to get triggered. We need to get triggered. We need to, it becomes, there is no way to ever bury what has been in the psyche. If we take it a little bit, a little bit more esoteric, just like we have an individual psychic energy, so does the collective energy in a society and
absolutely.
country. And at this point, we need to be triggered. We need to just, I'm glad you said it that way, because we need to pull out, look, and not back off. And as a result, I think it is helping, quote unquote, if we're looking at the masculine and the feminine, we are evolving into a new way of being ourselves individually, and that's what we're speaking to, just by the mere fact that we're all sitting here together, and we'll be on the video. We need to have these conversations with ourselves and with each other, that we, and you know what, it's about, what will I tolerate? Will I tolerate my sovereignty? You know, let's use the words Capricorn and Saturn. Saturn is about sovereignty. Saturn defines whether we choose to give over, because this, let's back up a little bit. Let's about 5 years ago, when we had the whole pandemic thing, but astrologically, just about everything was in Capricorn, and we were being called upon to look at ourselves in a whole different way. And so, as particularly as women, females, we're being asked to speak our voices. We're being asked to declare what is it that we are willing to stand for, and we each get to basically say, no, I stand for my sisters not being oppressed. I stand for myself not being oppressed. So we got to call it what it is.
And I think that's where the triggers come in, and they are useful for us to review what am I actually going to tolerate and what am I not tolerating. Because I think
understand that.
time...
I collectively understand that, but what I'm seeing in possibly seeing is that not happening. You know, that not, I mean, that, yeah, I can see the women rising up in certain respects, but I can also see, my Lord, that I'm sorry, but somebody that I don't want to be in power may just do that. And it's that.
Well, again, I want to emphasize, there is the choice is what we individually and collectively, what you place your attention upon day by day by day, is what we know, the power of attraction. That is part of what's happening in terms of us all evolving. We cannot, you can't, on one hand, you can't say, I am courting fear. I'm courting fear in every moment. I'm courting fear that this is going to happen. Well, if I keep saying it day in and day out, I can bring about.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
I understand.
And
that.
so,
Yes.
it becomes really important to say, yes. And there's two things we declare that I feel my feelings. I feel what the fear feels like, but at the same time, I'm using that to propel myself to choose. I choose sovereignty. And I'm going to encourage every other woman. We need to feel our feelings. We need to feel what the fear feels like, but at the same time, declare that I am choosing, I am commanding sovereignty in my life. And so both sides, it's understanding. It's like the tarot, the 11th card, the scales. You've got yes, there's the feeling negative pole, but it helps to fuel what I truly want. It will galvanize me to get into motion and saying, no, I will not keep repeating that stuff about being, because if I make the centerpiece of my life the fear, and we all do that, we're done.
Okay, great.
Actually, I want to add something completely different. I agree with you. Maybe I totally understand. I think these days are so frustrating. But I don't know, have you witnessed or have you looked up the news about the French election?
No.
Yes. I appreciate them so much.
Yeah, exactly. And
I appreciate them.
there was a parliament election, and there's always two runs. Don't ask me why there are two runs. On the first run, the nationalist won most of the seat. 1 week later, with the second run,
It was kind of a run. Yeah.
just a week, they flipped the page.
That's right.
They flipped the page completely.
Sure did.
That doesn't solve any solution in the collective and in the society. But a lot of people did a lot of good work, and the outcome was more than I hoped for.
Right. I appreciate them so much. And, I kind of kept up with it, and it's like, because it's almost like what they realize, the psychology of it is they realize that there's the first layer of when people have their emotional response. And then they say, we got to do this again the second time, because we know they've settled down. They've grounded themselves. And they did a fabulous job. They said, no.
See, they should have allowed that for us a couple elections ago, and it would have landed a lot differently, I think. With Hillary and Trump. I really believe that.
You know what, Karen? Everything has to be in its own time and space.
Right.
And so, because the French, they had a particular way of doing it, but we are faced with looking at, it's sort of like a spiral. We are almost 250 years where this country started. And so the psychic energy is such that it's like, okay, here you are. You're facing yourself 250 years later. Are you going to be the same? Or are you going to do something different? And that's the big question that each one of us are sitting with. Yes, we're triggered. You absolutely believe it.
And I think we're in the time to discuss the three words of the French Revolution: liberty, equality, solidarity. That is what we are discussing right now.
Absolutely. And the French, they actually lived it. They did theirs.
Interesting. Thank you, ladies, for that lively discussion. It really helped me. It did. Thank you. That helps me get into a space that is I feel more grounded and not. I'm not really afraid, but I feel a little bit of rage sometimes.
Feel your feelings. It's really important that we feel the feelings, but yet we got to move toward saying, I will not tolerate this.
I don't know.
But we need to feel our feelings.
I don't know. I said my feelings to my mother, and she didn't speak to me for a few days. She
No.
was morally corrupt. So, I guess I need to be careful about who I feel my feelings with, huh? She just grew up, she's 91. She grew up in a generation where, you don't. So, trying to bring her up into so that she can voice her actual opinions and how she really feels is a little bit challenging, but I'm always trying. So.
What I think is I think it's so frustrating or surprising or however you want to call it, because I was at the point where I thought we were just far away in the road. And now I realize, so we got so much pushed back. Then we said, okay, we have really discovered this again.
Yeah.
Here we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's do it.
okay, ladies. I have a couple cards for today. I have a stone. And what do you want to hear first? Stone?
Stone is good. Stone is
Okay.
good.
So my stone today is sphalerite. It's spelled S-P-H-A-E-L-E-R-I-T-E, sphalerite.
Right.
And it really helps to harmonize the female and male aspects by balancing the yin and yang. So I thought that was really important. It kind of helps to unleash your creativity. It enhances your ability of discernment, and it really helps you to weigh in on the good and balance those difficult and good and bad in the difficult situations. It supports you in grounding into reality and helps you differentiate what is true and false for your own highest good. So there's, I collect skulls. So sphalerite, it usually, a lot of times it'll come with calcium or calcite. It's got these it's brown in color. And here I've got, there's different types of sphalerite. This is ruby jack. It's got that kind of, ruby flow to it. It's got that, little bit of red ruby jack sphalerite. It's got black and brown sphalerite too. And then here I have this wonderful little, this is a sphalerite, but it has titanium oxide. It's got that metal. And I usually do not ever buy a stone with titanium, any kind of metal overlay, but this one was so cool, I had to get it. I mean, it's just so amazing. And that, like this one kind of, it enhances clear thinking and laser beam focus and everything. I thought, God, this is also good for those steps. And the layer of a titanium adds strength and courage while helping you release energetic blocks. So sphalerite is my stone. I liked really that it brought that male and female aspects together and harmonizes them in your bodies, grounds them into alignment. Yeah. One of my favorite stones to work with. Oh, yeah, it really increases your willpower and determination. So I thought that was really good for focusing on those steps too. So, and, so I went through a lot of different tarot decks today. I really wanted to use the Rider-Waite and I just couldn't do it. Could not do it. I just couldn't do it. I tried. It's just, I don't know what it is. So
why couldn't you use it, Karen? Why couldn't you use it?
It was really patriarchal to me.
Oh, okay. All
and
right.
That's yeah. I saw and it wasn't and it wasn't a man that did those did those pictures, but it seemed those symbols were and it's not true. I just felt probably what I was choosing was coming up very patriarchal and I just didn't want to see it. Didn't want to deal with it. Don't want anything to do with it. And I don't want to deny my rage. So I chose a different deck.
Well, this is funny because I first learned so many years ago with the Rider-Waite, and I didn't have the descriptions back, say,
Okay.
40 years ago. But my intuition said, I can't stand this deck. And I gave it away. I could not, I didn't know the word patriarchal, but I just, I can't, I don't want to. And I stopped doing tarot for a while
Because of it.
because I learned it about 40 some years ago. And so it was like, can't. And that was the only deck that was really around,
Right.
then. And I just said, can't use it.
I know my first tarot class, that's what they wanted me to use. And I chose Thoth, and Thoth, I think I just was really attracted to the beautiful, feminine, organic, beautiful pictures, but some of the artwork, but boy, that's a really dark deck too. I mean,
Yeah.
I pulled up the 7 of discs, and I see failure there. And here I want to see the 7 of disc as nurturing that path and those steps. So, because that's what I was working on today was like the 7 of Pentacles was part of that whole process that I was doing today, that ritual. And I pulled up the Thoth and I forgot that it was failure. And I go, oh, I had to put that away. So I chose the Light Seers. But I don't use this deck very often. I really don't. But
I like that deck.
Yeah.
I use that deck a lot.
Do you?
Yeah,
I
do you?
do.
I
have it, but I've never really used it. I don't know. I can't seem to connect with it.
I don't
I can
use it very
connect with the Muse, but not the Light Seer. It's
Yeah.
strange.
I haven't used it very often at all.
Well, I don't have it at all, so I can't say.
So the card for the collective, Page of Wands, and boy, that just seems like infectious, joy, that creativity. I see her just bouncing through the air, and wow, just that flow of new opportunities and sparks of creative. So busy discovering what they are, those creative sparks, possibilities that are. So that really kind of follows along, I think, really well with the ritual that we. Paige really invites you to jump into things, just bring that joyful, creative spark into what you do. Definitely a kid, just that's that young youth energy, peaceful energy.
I think that's an appropriate card because I was also doing some work on, maybe you all heard the shamanic question or kind of prompt about, and that's the question that we maybe should be asking ourselves. And that card really addresses it. It says, when did you stop singing? When did you stop dancing? You see, because that's what in order to counteract and combat a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, meaning singing is get your voice.
Yeah. And I used to sing all the time, and I've lost some of those. I can sing high, I can sing low, I can't sing in the middle anymore. That middle tone has kind of disappeared for me. So
well, it doesn't matter if you sing, and there are all kinds of ways of singing. Just bring your voice back. That's the important part. Just bring the voice back.
I do still sing. I do still hum along and sing and list. Yeah, but I was working with a person who does voice. Dominique Oyston is her name. She was an opera singer, but she has a lot of voice classes, and she said that if I do certain exercises and things, that I can bring that middle tone back. So to me, when I feel like I've lost what I really have, because I go from here to here, I kind of break when I'm trying to sing here. That means that I'm suppressing something that needs to be said. I mean, that is my thinking about it.
Well, that's probably a lot of, and I'm not talking particularly about formal kind of singing. I'm saying you can do it in any way you want to. You
Oh,
can
sure, sure,
tone,
sure.
you can chant, you can chant, you
Yeah.
can moan. Um, in the Celtic and other traditions too, they talk about keening,
Yes.
making this sound where you can lift stones with this sound if it's done with enough people, and this very powerful sound happens, and it's in women's tradition that this
Yep.
often happens. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the
Yes.
kind of voicing and singing I'm talking about, using our collective sound to move this stuff, move
Oh, that would
energy.
be, yes.
That's what I'm talking. Every day we're moving energy right now having this conversation.
Oh, sure, sure. I mean, actually, I've taught toning the stones, how to clear stones.
That's
Is
right.
tone
That's
them.
what I'm talking about. You know how to do it already, Karen.
I
You
do
know
know
how to
how to
do
do
it.
it. Absolutely, I've
Yeah,
taught it.
absolutely. So that's so. I mean, personally, I know I'm not going out and sing anybody's opera. I like opera, but
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna go
no,
try
no.
to
She
sing.
wasn't formal singing. She is just like she does like goddess training and things like
Right,
that. Because I was always, why have I
right.
lost part of my voice? I it just really kind of bothered me that I lost that middle tone, like when I'm singing in this why. And to me, it definitely has a um I have there's a deeper reflection there. There's definitely a deeper.
Well, Louise Hay in her work, she talks about particularly and we all are having now you're talking about being traumatized, but this is often akin to what's called the grief center.
Yes.
And when we are having some kind of thing, and this is what's going on, that's why we have to just tone, chant, keen, do whatever to let the sound just come through. The best way we can get it through, to let that out, to acknowledge this is a grieving time at the same time that it is a stand up time.
Yes.
And
That's
I
true.
love what Myron's saying about the French. They are past they are a pathway. They are path shores. They've given us some messages as to how to get the voice up, because the one thing I can say about the French, they can be a very, sometimes they're very kind of like, what's the word? How they can,
Feminine? No.
somebody help me out here. They can be very like
Um,
that,
Aloof.
aloof,
aloof.
aloof.
But when they come together
Better
and they decide, they can be a ruckus group of people. That's the lesson that we need to learn right now. With that, so I think that card is really appropriate.
Yeah.
So my other card, I have another card from I had I had to go into the feminine deck. The wild and sacred feminine is horse and freedom. I love this. So the horse is a universal symbol for unbridled power, the harbinger of wild freedom. And freedom from all bondage is your intrinsic nature, a birthright that can never be stolen. I am calling that into manifestation. So let the thunder of galloping hoofbeats stir a remembrance of your soul at liberty. Realize
Beautiful.
that nothing stands between you and freedom. Horse rules the herd. She teaches you to become dexterous in your innate authority. I would say in your innate sovereignty, So freedom is not about recklessness, however. You don't need to abandon your dharma and take to the Mongolian steppes to find freedom. So I think that's what we were talking about
Right.
today, wasn't it?
That's right. Beautiful.
That, yeah, what a gorgeous, and this was before we even talked, this came forward. So love that. Horse and freedom. Ladies, anybody else have a card for the collective?
I like this card. I'm using the African goddess rising today, Abiola Abrams, and the card that I got is the Seven Sisters.
Oh.
And the Seven Sisters, the guidance from the Seven Sisters for us as the anecdote to what's going on, it says create, create, and create. And we need to call up our witchy powers. We need to call up our conjuring powers. And we need to call up our creator powers. And basically it says our blood remembers. Use your gifts to multiply. We need to multiply our magic. And we need to connect with the creative, the cosmic creatrix and the creative force. That's what, and I think your horse one goes right along with this. So we need to call it up.
Oh, yep. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Have another one for the collective, or are we done with cards and going into our personal? How do you want to play this?
I have from the same deck that you
Okay.
worked with, I have the Muse inspiration. So basically it's the same thread with all your cards, tapping into that creative energy and really
Beautiful
listening
card.
to what's going on. Yeah.
Well, that's really neat that we all were kind of in sync here.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you have, Karen?
I have one. I'm using the Gentle Tarot deck,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Harvest of Wands, which I believe correlates with the King. And she uses a lot of animals, so it's a wolf. And she says, "The time is now. I'm ready to lead with courage and force."
That's
All
it.
right.
That's it.
I have that deck, so ready to.
I love this deck. Where's
Mhm.
the?
I was going to use that one today.
She's from Alaska, and so then I live in the Pacific Northwest, so a lot of the animals and the plant life are similar to where I live. I love that part.
I'm
Okay.
looking forward to her next deck coming out soon, I hope.
Ah. I have her grandmother's deck too that she collaborated with.
Mm-hmm. I don't have that one.
Who is this, Karen?
Her name is, oh gosh,
It's the Gentle
Marisa.
Tarot.
Let me put it in the chat because I'm gonna
Okay.
butcher
The
her.
Gentle Tarot. I was
Gentle Tarot. Hang on, I have too much crap on my desk. Get my keyboard out.
But if you look for Marie in the Sky, you'll find her.
Oh yes,
Okay.
that's her
Marie in
like
the Sky.
online
Okay.
presence.
Marie in the
Marie
Sky.
in the Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies.
Maren, do you have a card for us?
It's from the Gear Oracle decks by Serpent Fire.
And what is it?
Serpent Fire deck, and it's Manipura. And
Mm.
Oh, okay. Manipur.
the representative of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's great. I love that mandala.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
bright like the sun and so
Yeah.
strong.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I think this ends our portion of until we go into our personal tarot readings. Our next, I think our next new moon gathering is on August 1st, which is Lugnasad, Lamas,
Oh my goodness. Yes,
Manasa.
it is.
Yeah. which Alexandra will be hosting. So that is a Sabbath, and exciting times. Shifting into the wheel is shifting on our next meeting. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. This will be posted, recording will be posted, hopefully within the next 2 days and before the full moon comes out. And I will have instructions and everything tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow, on that little ritual, the stepping stone ritual. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today. We had a great time. Love all your wonderful wisdom, your insights, and all that you bring to this gathering. I mean, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And
thank you.
You're welcome. And bye for now. And moving, let me see.